Peace, peace. Message. Greetings to all. Give honor to the ancestors known and unknown. Give honor, gratitude to Source, Big Mama, Most High. Got a message for y'all. Beautiful. Reality check. Should have set this phone up, but I'm gonna put my shoe right down. Let's see. Bam. Message. It's gonna be I already know this is gonna be amazing. Happy new moon, happy everything. How about that? Happy everything. So for once, this here, accountability, self-awareness. I made a status earlier speaking about how for once we take accountability and accept and embrace our role, then we'll realize we are the leading role or actor in our own movie. Everyone has a script, everyone has a role. So every moment you get up, every moment you rise, every conscious step, every breath, you can decide how you want to create life, how you want to have some type of effect on others. What's so beautiful about this is that we all, for once, let me say this, we all came here to experience karma. Now, when we hear the word karma, I'll just use that terminology, but we all came here to experience life. We all actually came here to experience pain. Look at your life and really see who in your life and people haven't experienced some type of hardship, some type of pain, some type of backsliding. What other words? Shortcomings. If you want to use like those English or whatever terminology. So what's the goal? What's the purpose in all of it? Who's better than who? Who's greater than who? Who has more than who? This is so amazing about this grand awakening or awareness or, higher conscious elevating here and the healing that's taking place is that source from which we come from is reminding us that some way, somehow, through circumstances in life, we're all connected. Something is going to connect us. For once, that right there. How would you know that it's day? How would you know that it's dawn or dusk? How would you know that even anything can be experienced without the sun or the moon? How would you know the beauty of life without, seeing these things physically? How will we know what it is to even see, experience, feel, or to know pain, suffering, all those things that we see with the natural eye? We first must know that spiritually has to happen, cosmically. So my message for everyone here is that as I was walking, the Spirit was relaying this message on my heart, is that most of us, I think the birds are coming to listen to, peace. With all the things that's happening in the world, peace, love, we want these things, right? We desire these things. I'm not going to say everyone does. And that's the thing about what we come here to learn. We come here to realize the importance of being secure within ourselves. Are we secure? When a natural disaster happens or something happens in the world, what is really a sense of security? Does these material things keep you secure? Does that really bring you happiness? In a world of so many things where mental health, you see so much of the mental illness of just assuming that this is what the world or place or life is supposed to be. How much does it cost to be kind? How much does it cost to be loved? How much does it cost? I'm going to use your money for instance. How much is it to be loved? How much does one life cost? Now you see the greed and the corruption centered around all these things that some of the people have grown to love. And then as soon as something happens that isn't in alignment, it immediately shifts to hate. When you know your role, no one can trick you out of your position. No one could tell you what it is and how it is, but yet you learn from them. I've been learning so much from the youth. Learning to observe and listen. Seeing the wisdom and listening, observing, slowing down, doing things more slowly, honoring patience. So I've just been noticing how death and rebirth, has been the theme. I give you this analogy or illusion or whatever. For once, we won't ever. What the divine teaches us, the feminine aspect, the principle is that it's ever changing. The masculine, what we see in the physical, or what we see with our natural eye, is to remind us, what we're here to do, why we're here to do it. And what I've learned, gratitude, what I've learned also about myself is that how many of us really knew love? Can you honestly say that you were a lost soul? Then when you come to your own awakening, you realize, we come to the realization how many lost souls are out here. Because once you grasp that purpose, you can't run from it. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with knowing love, I would say. Knowing love, honoring your truth. There's a tremendous responsibility and courage that comes with living in your truth, honoring who you are. That can come with much resistance from a lot of people that haven't embraced their own darkness or face their own demons or chose to rise above or choose to rise above their circumstances. Then we start to realize, well, have I been doing what I've been doing from a place of love? Then it begins to show. Then we'll see the importance of valuing peace in such a corrupted, misguided world. Then we'll start to see the importance of the youth. We'll start to see the importance of really being free, letting go of that bullshit analogy of what an adult should be, or, or what any of these titles should be. Because they'll call you crazy for being who you are. And again, everyone's playing their role. It's funny how these words, how you cast a spell, or people were cast into your life as a actor, or placed on your path as a distraction, or a part of even your awakening, or a part of even finding who you are. And that still is becoming, that healing process is still ever changing. That's the beauty of all of this, is that you never stop learning you. And I always share something with everyone, is that you learn from everyone. How we're genetically set up, we absorb, just like kids. They absorb what they see, not just visually, what they hear, what, throughout life. We learn from everyone. And a lot of which, at an early age, we learn. I'll let this truck ride by. But daily, there's a spiritual warfare most don't even realize that they're living. I observe and just see people that are at places that they don't even love. And this is why I say people don't know love, because if they knew love, and if they honor what they were doing, and we're always there, they honor truthfully what they were doing, why would they do what they don't love? Because a lot of the fear is centered around either money, how we view money, how we view security, how we view how others perceive us, how the world will perceive us, social media, on all these other platforms. That's why I don't come to bullshit with y'all, because that's something within me that I know I'm secure within myself, to know that all of my needs, all of my wants, whatever it is, all of those things are already met. And it's the surrenderance, it's the flow, it's a divine flow. It's honestly the divine scheme of things. Because my spirit, my soul came here to learn this, to embrace this, to accept this. And that's what I spoke about on my status, is that we speak about forgiveness. But one of the most important things I realize as this human experience, or people need to, gradually will come to learn and accept, is acceptance. Acceptance that people may not ever change. Mom, dad, whomever may not ever change, and no one will ever change when you want them to. Because your experience is not their experience. But as people are in our lives, they are a part of our experience. Whether it be for a moment, a few months, whatever duration it is. What is it that we have to remember them by, because it's all memories. So again, it goes back to like legacy. How the roles, once we get and accept and embrace that, and I'm just gonna be quite frank with it. Some of the most amazing things and experiences I've had are with people who are so fucking authentic. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna give y'all, I'm gonna crack a code. I'm gonna let y'all know some real shit about what they call, I don't care for the terminology titles of black, African, and none of that stuff. I don't really care for, I'm just gonna speak on places that have endured suffering the most while they were here. Not to say everyone hasn't endured some type of circumstances, challenging circumstances, but from what we know as melanated people, or dark people, these hoods, these what I call reservations, or these sacred places, you're gonna find some of the most, and I like to say it's a polarity. You're gonna find some of the most authentic people, like real, uncut, raw, just it is what it is. And also those who hide behind the who put a mask on. Let me tell y'all some deep shit. The reason why I love these places, and I realize, is that even though there may not be as much one may not be appreciated and received as much as they want to possibly, but the truth of the matter is, you got to know who you are in these places. You got to stand firm and be in your truth and love you more in places where the love isn't poured or expressed. See, this is the challenging thing about being in certain places, where communities where we are in these places to be that light, that beacon of light. Because what I'm getting at is that I know crackheads, and that's a title, but I know people that are on whatever drugs. I know prostitute firsthand. I know people, whatever it is, that they just come up to you like, yeah, I do this to make a living. Oh, I'm gonna smoke my crack, but I'm gonna still work. But just so fucking raw and uncut. And yet the world will tell you to despise these people. But let me tell you something. I love them. I tell people all the time, I still got a mother who fighting her demons. She may smoke her crack or whatever the fuck she do, but that woman still will get up and go bust her ass to make whatever dollar or whatever she got to do. And some of these people, like I met people, some of these people will still go to work, and they'll use whatever little check they get, they're going to use their money to smoke their little crack or do their little dope, whatever it is, and still be fucking genuine. Because a lot of the people don't want to come and learn these people. But what you see the world do, they praise or they glorify this pain or this trauma. See where I'm getting at now? Because when you become a healer, you realize that you're not only just a healer. You realize that a healer was once, what's the word I can use? To honor both dark and light. A healer also was once a warrior or inflicted pain. A healer was once the opposite of being a healer. You got to know you to learn you. You got to know where your pain stems from. One has to learn not only where it stems from, because as I was expressing to someone, I was introduced to crack. I was introduced to a lot of things. But the spiritual warfare comes in knowing that I came here to heal that aspect of who I am and my family lineage. That's why some of us are herbalists, Some of us are awakening to what we're here to do. And once you come to that awareness, is that you'll see why Source, the creator, why you are co-creator. Because a part of you rebelling against the narrative of what the world perceives as a norm, you will come to the realization that that spiritual warfare is you freeing your mind from the idea of what anyone is telling you who to be, or how the world tell you who to be. Because the essence and the truth of who we truly are and we're returning to is Source. And Source reminds us that connection, again, that's always been there. That connection before you came through your mother's womb. So the healing and the beauty that's coming to places is that we are the gatekeepers. We are the ones that hold the blueprint, the healers. We are the powers that be now. You got a dark room. You got the whole world could be dark, or a place or a building. You come in and light a candle, and everything in there that was in the dark runs. Do you hear me? You are the one. You are the light. So there's nothing to fear. But at the same time, you had to walk in that building and see the darkness in there. There's no difference in you going to these communities and neighborhoods where people are afraid to come. They're afraid to come. A lot of people are afraid to step foot inside of these places because it's due to their fear. They're afraid to embrace or to be reflected back to them, their own demons, or be reminded of love. Because that light is the love. But also that darkness is to remind us of that love. So again, it's the beauty of some of the most amazing experience I express to people all the time. Some of the most beautiful beings I ever met was either choosing to live on the street or being cast out or being outcasted or, demonized from their families or people or the world. But are you willing to be on the front line fearlessly? Are you willing to play your role? Because these are the moments we're living in. Because you had to see those people in your life that chose fear over love, that chose pride and ego over truth and love. And now the tables are fucking turning. Because those that stood in their truth and love are going to emerge. Because truth and love, the light is always going to come, is going to illuminate that which is hidden, that can no longer be hidden. There are no more secrets. This is why a lot of us are here. This is why a lot of us high vibrationally, it's important for us to stay in high vibes, because naturally we came from high vibrational places to come through the womb of low vibrational women, traumatic women, some of the most women that have experienced so much pain. You know your mother to be one, or you know your grandmother to be one, or we know grandmothers that experienced that, or we know other healers, practitioners, shamans, wise women. We know others, again, that while we're doing what we're doing, that connects us to know that what we're doing has always been in alignment with Source and with the Creator. Why would we be here? So it's you that choose to be fearless. And those same ones that laugh and all those things, you wish them well. You send them love. Because once we start to get aware of our mind and becoming pure in our thoughts and become righteous in our ways, we will realize how wicked and corrupted things are. And that's okay. That should give you every reason to illuminate and allow who you are to radiate in this fucking, on Kai, on earth. because it can no longer be hidden. Nothing can be hidden anymore, and that's the beauty of it. So, and now I tell people, these places that have had endured pain, you're going to see gain from all of this. Your path where you traveled or went places is for you to gain the clarity, to shift, to be relocated, to go here, to journey here, to bring your light, your ideas, the things that people demonize in this place, for you now to bring to this place where you are embraced, where you are loved, where you are, where people see you with love. And a lot of that happens when we have to go to places. We have to go to new environments because our light is needed in these places. Darkness is everywhere, but your light is needed in every place, wherever you go. Your love is needed in every place. Love is the theme now. I love love. I've always known and to love. Because I've always knew when I came here, such as you've always known that you were different, you were unique. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you, if you want to use the word chosen, everyone is chosen because everyone is here. Everyone you see, they're chosen to be here. So that's just my perception on it. But we chose to be here during these moments because it's something within us that money can't buy, that material things can't, we can't be manipulated to do those things. Because in the past life or before, or how we came to this awareness now, those things were used. Because the powers that used to be, or the wickedness that ran through the world, used those things from a place of fear. But now some of us, knowing that we're divinely guided and protected in ways where those things will be added in our lives as we surrender and go with the divine flow. Because the light is illuminating these unrighteous spirits, these things that, again, has been following the lineage for so long to this very moment. Because Spirit knew it was us that was going to be the one to have the courage to speak to those demons, to speak to those, those any spirits that are not of the highest good for humanity or the greater good for all, without doing harm to anyone. Your journey had to be what it was. I had to see the importance of growing up in homes or being around people who were, they weren't even in alignment with Source. But it all was aligned for me. But I had to see those abusive, manipulative Jezebel, Incubus, so many things that were running through the lineage. Now for me to create a healthy family. My message to you all is that what makes us co-creators of the Creator is that forget blaming and complaining. Accept where you are. Accept that deepness of where you are. And that's going to come with tears. That's going to come with isolation. That's going to come with feeling of abandonment. All these things rooted in what we feel we didn't receive as a child. And these very things that we choose right now to embrace and acknowledge and take accountability for are the very things that you see in family or people who run from it, who flee from it. But they no longer can run from it. Because as much as we stand in our power, our ancestors are also with us. The ancestors that are aligning us for the highest good of humanity, the healing, to bring forth healing in a way. So those that come after us will experience a prosperous, abundant, holistic, harmonious life. Are you willing to die behind that? Because we're all going to leave anyway. Everything here is dead in a sense anyway. This body is going to wither away. These trees, right now we're in autumn, so everything is dying away, only to be reborn again. So it's just like people. Again, they come into your life, give them their flowers now. But we get to this awareness now is that we're at places, and you know, when you come to embrace that divine flow and that love, that's what the feminine principle is all about. The expression, or the divine face, divine feminine face. It's not a woman, man, or any of these titles. It's simply an energy that flows. This is why my mothers and fathers, this is why, again, as you as mothers, whatever your age is, choosing to heal, you are not only acknowledging and taking account for not only what you're doing in this lifetime, but taking account and carrying the load that has been passed down. Imagine the baggage that's been passed down emotionally, spiritually, physically. You know, mothers that, again, they hoard stuff, and that's due to emotional baggage. All these things people hoard on earth or hoard here because it's their attachment. You know, it's something they don't want to let go of. And sometimes a lot of that stuff is rooted in painful experiences when we really see, you know, and then if it wasn't, it wouldn't cause suffering. So then we begin to realize the importance of how letting go is some of the best thing we can ever do. There's no U-Haul behind the hearse. I particularly don't care for funerals, but, you know, because everyone's going to leave here. So what is your legacy? If everyone's playing a role before the curtain closed, what is your legacy? What are you willing to stand up for? What are you really willing to have the courage? And a lot of that shit gonna come through confrontation. I've had my moments with people. It may not be physically, but I've called them out on their shit. Because a lot of stuff people won't say, I will. And I've have. But it feels even more amazing because I know it's coming from a place of love. Has it been all the time? No. But I can tell, I'm more aware now what is a projection. And then sometimes silence is just the best thing. But I express it here because I know that whether it's one view or 100 million views, that's all it takes is to spark that one mind to believe in themselves and to know that you are sent here from a higher source, a higher power, and be guided. Ask yourself, are you being guided from a place of love? And see, that's the awareness that we're realizing and coming into, is that a lot of things that we have, we've learned through childhood, and what we thought was healthy, holistic, and prospering and loving was the opposite of that. This is why now we're all getting into connections or relationships where we're learning, because we all came here to learn through our own karma. And through that, we're clearing karmic and ending karmic cycles. We're clearing that out of our auric field, out of our lives. One thing I had to accept is that my mother reminded me so much of the pain as a child, as the son that came through her. Then my daughter arrived, my princess, and reminded me of the gain, the beauty of what's to come. See, a lot of which we have to, I'm going to give you this analogy, like, just think about an old tree, a tree that's not prospering good fruit, but you were the one. You know how they say the apple don't fall too far from the tree? Yeah, it may fall too far from the tree. It may not fall too far from the tree. But in a sense, if you have kids or will, you are that seed that isn't rotten, that isn't fucking spoiled. You are that prosperous seed. You are the one in your lineage that was chosen, that was anointed, per se. to bring forth a prosperous, righteous, abundant, harmonious way of being. So before that, if certain things follow the family, and then you see the kids and you see certain people, I'm going to call it what it is. It wasn't prosperous. It wasn't, when you see someone prospering in a spiritual sense, it has a lot to do with just material. It's what they're speaking. It's their character. It's their vitality. It's their virtue. I'm just putting words out there. It's who they are in the unseen. It's who they are, you know, and some of you mothers and fathers know it's something that you know. Stop ignoring that your children or your star seeds or your kids are anointed. They have gifts. They actually hold the blueprint. This is why there has been so much of an attack, or, you know, on so much of the first eye, the spiritual eye, or keeping people in a place where they don't realize the power within. How can you bring peace to the world if your inner world ain't at peace? How can you bring prosperity, abundance, or love if you don't first see that within yourself? Again, a lot of us coming from places where we had people who, again, how you speak is very powerful. How you speak to yourself. A lot of us are coming out of that narrative, releasing those outdated paradigms and releasing those old narratives and rising above those, rising above that bullshit narrative of like, we are great. We are amazing. We are brilliant. We are advanced. Yes, you are. We are. So speak that into your kids. Have we not seen what, you know, why our families or people haven't been prospering? Because some of us are here to create healthy families, conscious families. Being fathers, you are here to bring more of a conscious, more awareness dynamic to your daughters, which again, who have a portal, their womb, to bring forth life. So you speak life. Some of y'all are coming from abusive household now to learning to use your hands to heal rather than to harm. Because you know some people fight you too. Oh, you should whoop her. No, fuck that. First of all, that child I'm here, you know, by me being here, seeing from a higher perspective. First of all, I was given this body, I was given this seed, I was given this wand, this staff, penis, to bring forth life. I see the beauty in that shit. To bring forth life, then to bring awareness, to break those chains and cycles and release that old karmic cycle of looking at women, perceiving them in a more perverted way or on a surface level. No, I desire in my heart, and I know this, and I speak this, and know that the princess that chose me, that chose the mother and I for us to meet, she was here to bring forth a higher awareness. A lot of us don't realize that a lot of these kids are coming from a higher frequency, a higher vibration, to usher in a new way of being, a conscious way of love, a genuine way of love. They come in so you can release those attachments to someone belonging to you, the abandonment issues. They come in for healing, to bring forth awareness, to see the old narrative of how parenting was and how it was centered around fear, all the child support, the systematic stuff, the matrix, all that shit, to keep people in a place where they don't think for themselves. They don't depend more, then they don't know what it is to depend on solely with spirit. And so this is why a lot of us attract. We think we're doing this, but this is why a lot of us have attracted partners as such, whether they are operating on more of a surface level or coming from a lower place. I had to learn that about myself. A lot of you are coming to that awareness now why you had to track those partners. Because even though they may not ever change, or it's not our job for us to do that. Because whether they're showing, this child or this being what they perceive as love, and that's the thing, they're only going to show this child their way of love from what they received as a child. And you're going to show your way from a conscious love, from a love that that invokes or is pouring into them from a loving place. This is what they're here to show us. This is why when you see a lot of what they call parents, no, a lot of us are guardians. That means we are guarding. We know the importance of the sacredness of the bloodline. A lot of us are here to usher in a healthy, holistic way for our bloodlines and those that come after. And you got to know that you're secure within yourself. The world is about to see divine love, divine partnerships. All that corruption with the whole marriage thing, it's not to say people there isn't love there. But when you see the dynamics of a lot of these things and what they portray, it's not to say there isn't love there, but to the root of all that, that's not my way. That's not what Source has guided me to do. Because genuine love is allowing those to walk away, allowing people to fly, allowing that partner or person, that version of yourself to go find themselves, go love on themselves, go find themselves within, go connect to the source or, the creator within. So the beauty of this is that's why I'm able, Spirit reminds me, like when you see those other kids that don't know what a conscious love is or genuine love is, it challenges me to express that, to emit that, because I'm also learning and then had to heal through my own shit. And then now it's more responsibility, not within myself, but to balance that out to where I honor myself and then I respect that. And once we accept that, then we're able to see visually people's other spiritual warfare. They're in their own universe. They're in their own world. Because you only see me here. But wherever you are, that's your world. You're experiencing what you experience in your world. So truthfully, I share what I can. If it comes off as a projection, I'm accountable for that. Because for once, your emotions are not mine, but still, I have to go through my own experience and share my message to, and trust that my intentions are pure and love, and know that it'll inspire someone. Do I care that people are going to accept it? No. I don't expect people to do that shit if they haven't accepted themselves or embraced their love. I learned that daily through people that I know that really they don't hurt me. That's where you get to that place, is that no one can hurt you. Nothing outside of you can hurt you. That's the peace. That's where you want to get. Because we have this that human nature or that human experience, or where we come to learn these things. Who can really hurt anyone? Or it's not to say people haven't experienced hurt physically or pain, but it's in a more of awareness that you're secure within yourself spiritually, to where we're becoming more aware that hurt people in a sense, that people are hurting inside. And it's due to the fact of the lack of awareness or of the other side, or the spiritual essence, that there's a disconnect from source. There's a disconnect there. So we learn to realize that do what you can in that moment. Give the best that you can. And that's what I had to accept and embrace, even on my journeys, that a lot of things where we feel we're giving too much is that sometimes it's a sign to where it's okay to give up. And when I say give up, it's in a sense of like surrenderance. You be like, man, you know what? I give up. I cannot do this no more. And it's in a sense, not quitting, is You're not quitting yourself. You're just letting go of the idea that you can change someone. They may not ever change. They may not ever get it this lifetime. That's when you keep going. That's when you keep moving forward. So, I've said so many things, but the beauty of all this is that you are great. You are brilliant. You are amazing. You are divine. You are something that, again, the world cannot put a price tag on. Mom, dad, whomever it is, and family, friends, or whatever. No one can label you, because truthfully, when you learn who you truly are and realize that you're beautiful, you're that lotus that emerged from the mud, you're that tree that grew in the most, horrendous place. You're that rose that sprouted from that crack in the concrete. And see, that's the thing you have to realize wherever you are in life. You are that thing that people can despise, but yet you see the beauty in yourself. You see the beauty in that creation. You see the beauty in that imperfection. But to source, you are perfect as you are. So again, remember that a lot of people are conditioned and programmed, and they just who they are. And we came here to heal, and we came here to usher in healing. So love life on purpose, love. I know it's easy said and done, but remember that everyone is going and growing through their own experiences at their own pace. And remember to listen to your own heartbeat. And most importantly, if you haven't breathed today and you see this video and you be guided to this video, breathe through your nose, exhale, stick out your stomach, because a lot of us been learning to breathe in fucking wrong way, the opposite of what we're supposed to do, because your lungs expand. So breathe out your mouth. For once, slow down. I challenge you. Slow the fuck down. Slow. Walk slow. Start doing things slow, then you'll see how things will just start coming to you. You'll be like, wow. Go out in nature. I did an 11-mile hike the other day. It was challenging, but it was worth it. I saw some things. I experienced some things. And do your best to just stay neutral. When life gives you, you got this going on, then look at it like, okay, I expect something good to happen. Just because a tire or a car, something happened, this something happened with bill, money, whatever it is, just expect something great. Unprogram and reprogram your mind to see the beauty in, like, the polarity of it. It's like, look at your whole life as like that seed that's been planted in a desert. Even though they say shit can't grow in a desert, you never know. All things are possible. See yourself as like that seed that's been planted in the desert. And somehow, some way, water got there and the flower just sprouts. You got to see possibility in the impossibility, as I would say. See possibility in the impossibility. Know that all things are possible. Hey, I'm going to leave this with y'all, as funny as it may sound. If there's millions of fucking sperm that comes through a drop or whatever, you know how amazing that is for me to be the one that, my spirit, my soul, my essence, to be the one that the egg accepted, and now I'm here. You were the one, not everybody else. All the millions of sperm, but you were the one that made it there, and the rest didn't survive. That's my message. Peace and bliss. Shalom.